Commander Mara Vance gripped the armrests of her command chair as the resolute *S hull shuddered. Alarms blared. Debris from the shattered *Indomitable peppered the shields. "Full retreat, all ships," Vance barked. "Thread the orbital graveyard, evasive pattern Delta 7. Engineering prepped the comms relay for overload. Lieutenant Ray's a tactical nodded. "Aye, ma'am, relaying to survivors. We've got 12 hulls left, barely." The view screen showed the alien coalition fleet closing in. Their wedge-shaped cruisers dwarfed the human remnants, plasma lances cooling after the slaughter. Vance's task group had held for 48 hours, no more. "Helm, punch it," she said. The Resolute lurched forward, weaving through twisted girders and frozen corpses of satellites. Escorts followed, engines flaring blue. Behind them, the comms relay, a human-built station, bloomed into fire. Vance watched the explosion ripple across sensors. No trace left. "No signals for the enemy to track. Relays slag," Rays confirmed. "They're blind to our chatter now," Vance exhaled. "Good, scatter protocols, link up at fallback points. We adapt or we die." The fleet ghosted into the debris veil. Alien pursuit faltered at the edge. Strategist Keth Varun tapped his console, updating the campaign map. Human icons blinked red, then faded. "Perfect." "Collapse confirmed," he announced to the Vanguard S bridge. Holo displays showed human ships fleeing into the debris field one by one. "Their command net is severed. Relay destruction seals it." Admiral Saul Reck leaned forward from his elevated throne, his crest feathers ruffled with impatience. "Predictable. Humans break when pressed. Reallocate patrols, push to the core worlds." Varun's models aligned. Human doctrine emphasized firepower matches they couldn't win. Retreat equaled rout. He dragged patrol icons southward on the map. Faster conquests awaited, undefended shipyards resource nodes. "Patrols reassigned, Admiral. Human fleet marked neutralized." Occupation landings greenlit for Epsilon Station. Reck's eyes gleamed. "Excellent. Status demands victory now, not caution. Broadcast our terms." Varun nodded. Humans would comply. Their simulations showed it. Vance's shuttle docked hard in the civilian bays of Epsilon Station. Airlocks hissed open. Crews spilled out, hauling wounded and gear. "Captain Sato," Vance said into her comm, "your raiders secure the perimeter." "Affirmative, Commander," Ilya Sato replied, voice steady amid clangs. "Civi docks locked down, no leaks." Vance strode through the cavernous freighter hangars. Dim lights flickered over rusting hulls. "Doctor." Nia Akoy waited, tablet in hand, surrounded by engineers stripping panels. "Status, Doctor?" Vance asked. Akoy grinned, grease on her cheek. "Freighters are gold, ma'am, converting 5 into sensor mesh pickets. Civilian scrap yields quantum jammers and drone swarms. Enemy assumes we're gutted, won't scan junkers." Vance scanned the work. Welders fused arrays to freighter spines. Drones buzzed, testing links. "Link them to the station's grid," Vance ordered. "Sato's teams seed the approaches with decoys. We become the debris they ignore." Sato appeared, rifle slung. "Raiders report alien scouts bypassing outer lanes. They're rushing inward." Vance nodded. "Time to sell the lie." On the Vanguard Varun reviewed landing manifests. Shuttles prepped in the bays below. Human space lay open. "Incoming broadcast," a comms tech said. "Human origin unencrypted." Varun activated the holo. Commander Vance's face appeared, stern but weary. "Coalition forces," she said. "This is Commander Mara Vance, United Human Navy. Our fleet is broken. We surrender unconditionally. Coordinates for inspection teams follow." The message looped, carrier wave jittering faintly. Varun cross-checked. Coordinates matched the debris field. Surrender terms accepted. No tricks in the models. "Authentic," he told Reck. "Forward to occupation command." "Landings proceed." Reck barked a laugh. "Quick compliance, promote this Vance for cooperation." Varun updated the map. Human fleet, shattered remnants irrelevant. Patrols surged ahead. Vance watched the broadcast transmit from the station's core. Akoy monitored the feed. "Timing code embedded," Akoy said. "Jitter in the carrier wave sinks our mesh in 60 seconds. Sato paced. "Aliens are dropping troops blind. Our pickets will light them up." Vance's console pinged. Freighter meshes activated. Sensors bloomed across the system, ghost hulls masking ambush vectors. "Enemy landings inbound," Rays reported from the Resolute *S bridge link. "They've left flanks exposed." Vance smiled faintly. Execute Trap Alpha. Sato, your raiders hit the Vanguard shuttles. Akoi surged the drones. Explosions dotted the scans first. Alien landers bucked under drone swarms. Freighter pickets unveiled railguns from scrap hulls, shredding escorts. Sato's voice crackled. Raiders away, first blood's ours. Varun's map erupted in alerts. Keth Varun stared at the hollow. Red icons swarmed his landing forces. Human freighters junk-fired coherent beams, shuttles vaporized. What sorcery? He hissed. Rek roared from his throne. The surrender trap, sensors showed the debris field alive. Human wrecks reformed into kill zones. Patrol reallocations left voids, filled now by ghosts. Varun's models crashed. Human retreat wasn't collapse, it was bait. Recall patrols, regroup. Too late. Human raiders darted from shadows, torpedoes ripping cruisers. The surrender signal pulsed again, its jitter now a command det. Every alien receiver slaved, broadcasting positions. Vance's voice echoed in the chaos. Welcome to occupation. Varun clutched his console. Humans didn't break, they rebuilt, faster. The Asterisk Vanguard shuddered under fire. Alarms wailed, the map bled red. Vance's bridge rocked, railgun volleys from pickets hammered alien heavies. Status, she demanded. Reyes grinned. Their command nets haywire, our code turned their receivers against them. Landings at 30% losses. Sato's feed showed raiders boarding a crippled lander. Scraps flowing, Commander, enemy troops surrendering. Akoi patched in. Meshes holding, we've turned their haste into our forge. Vance leaned forward. Press it. No mercy on the flanks. The trap snapped shut. Alien coalition forces fragmented, caught between civilian ghosts and debris wolves. Humans fought from scrap, turning surrender into slaughter. Varun's final transmission begged terms. Vance ignored it. Grit wasn't modeled. It was forged. Epsilon Station burned bright. Humanity's counterstroke began. Dr. Nia Akoi torched the final restraint on the museum-grade fusion core. Sparks showered her gloves. The relic hummed to life in her arms, heavy, pristine, forgotten in glass cases amid Epsilon Station's gutted halls. She hauled it to the docking cradle. Gutted tugboats waited, their hulls stripped to frames by her teams. Civilian haulers, once trash scows, now wolves in sheep's clothing. Core secure, she barked into her comm. Tug 3 primed, thrust output triple baseline. Crew hands swarmed, they bolted the core into the engine bay. Welders sealed it tight. Akoi wiped sweat from her brow. Scrap became fangs. Commander Vance's voice cut through static. Akoi, status on modular refits? Green across the board, ma'am. Every hull sings one song now. Vance's bridge feed flickered on Akoi's helmet display. The commander stood amid flickering hollows, her face a mask of calm steel. Good, no more general-purpose ships. Assign every vessel a single mission module. Pickets get railgun pods only. Carriers, torpedo launchers. Tugs, silent propulsion. Ban all multi-role refits. Focus wins wars. Aye, Commander. Akoi killed the feed. Her teams nodded, hands flying. A picket frigate nearby sprouted rail barrels like thorns. No versatility, just lethal purpose. Next shift, Akoi crouched in the station's abandoned medbay. Hospital sterilizers hummed, massive units meant for plasma scalpels. She ripped panels free, hoses snaked out. Reroute these to propellant lines, she ordered. Purify reaction mass for emergency torpedoes. Enemy won't scan for hospital byproduct. Tech's jury-rigged valves. Sterile filters scrubbed fuel impurities. Test bursts fired into vacuum, clean, hot plasma trails, torpedoes from trash. Akoi grinned. Assumptions were the best weapons. Alarms whooped station-wide. Vance's drill commenced. Akoi dashed to the auxiliary bridge mock-up. Crews gathered in dim red light. Vance's hologram loomed large. Silent running protocols, Vance snapped. No emissions, hand signals only. She demonstrated, fist clenched for enemy contact, fingers splayed for evade. Bridge officers mirrored her, sweat beaded, no chatter. No beeps, Akoi took her station, logistics board dark, manual sliders only. Alien signals, warfare jams, everything electronic, Vance continued. They flood spectra, we go dark, eyes and hands. A simulated alien pulse washed over them, lights flickered. Crews signed, hold position, wait. Again, Vance ordered, hours blurred, muscles burned from signals. Akoi adapted, grit etched deeper. Captain Sato patched in from the raider bays. My team's ready, Commander. Small packs, ugly tricks will ghost their flanks. Link with Akoi's tugs, Vance replied. Drag their scouts into kill boxes. Akoi felt the web tight. Station ghost stirred. Sensors pinged. Alien frigate asterisk Vexar approached. Inspection bird, sleek and arrogant. Compliance checks, its broadcast demanded. Surrender terms mandate full docking access. Akoi keyed her console. Docket Bay 7 asterisk Vexar asterisk. Scrapyard's all yours. She glanced at her traps. Dead zone scanners rigged from civilian radars, masked as junk piles, emit nothing until triggered, lure them close. The frigate latched on with magnetic clamps. Airlocks cycled. Alien troops spilled out, carapace armor gleaming under station lights. Keth Varun's voice echoed from their lead officer's comm, strategist, remote, all models and no dirt. Scan all wreckage, the officer barked in halting system standard. Human tech deactivated per terms. Akoi watched from a shadowed gantry, her teams melted into vents, silent runners. She signed, wait. Aliens fanned through the yard, boots clanged on hulls. Scanners whirred, probing tugboats and picket husks. Chief Engineer Akoi, their leader called, tall, multi-limbed, sensors twitching. Present manifests, coalition demands verification. She stepped into light, hands open. This way, prime scrap in the dead zone. Led them deeper, junk mountains loomed, twisted metal shadowed canyons. Her dead zone trap pulsed invisible, sinking to their scans. Aliens activated deep probes, energy bloomed. Akoi hit the trigger, dead zone scanners fired, not passive anymore. They hijacked alien frequencies, slaved their own frigates' arrays. Vexar asterisk S sensors overloaded, broadcasting internals, power curves, weapon locks, crew positions, trap armed, tugboats ignited, museum cores roaring silent thrust. They surged from debris, rail pods spitting fire. One gutted hauler rammed an alien squad, crushing carapace under improvised rams, picket ghosts uncloaked. Single mission modules unleashed, torpedoes from hospital pure propellant streaked true, no misses. Sato's raiders darted in. Grapples latched Vexar asterisk S hull. Breaches popped. Human operators boarded, hand signaling through smoke. The alien leader spun. Ambush, regroup. Akoi's team dropped from gantries. Stunners cracked. Aliens slumped. Varun's voice exploded over open channels. What is this? Models showed collapse. Akoi seized the leader's comm. Your models missed the scrapyard strategist. It hunts back. Frigate alarms wailed. Torpedoes hammered its flanks. Hull breached. Sato's voice crackled. Boarding complete. Bridge ours. Akoi patched to Vance. Inspection done, Commander. One frigate slaved. Their nets got a new ghost. Vance's reply was ice. Feed positions to the fleet. Baits set. Station shook as tugs peeled away, dragging alien escape pods into railgun arcs. Aliens fired wildly, signals warfare blanketing space. But humans ran silent. Hand signals guided volleys. Varun's transmission stuttered from the captured bridge. Patrols converge on Epsilon. Human remnants active, too late. Sato's feed showed his teams rewiring consoles. Surrender signals jittered, now command debts slaving receivers. Akoi watched hollows light up. Debris fields stirred. Ghosts reformed. Patrol voids filled. Admiral Saul Rex roar cut in. Varun. Crush them, quick compliance. Varun hesitated. Admiral reallocations. Execute. Akoi smiled. Haste forged their forge. Vance's voice echoed fleet-wide. Welcome to occupation. Epsilon station burned bright. Traps multiplied. Human grit turned surrender to slaughter. But one beat lingered. Varun's final scan pinged Akoi's board, a coalition heavy inbound, demanding total scrap. She rerouted another sterilizer, time to arm the next ghost. Sensors showed the debris field alive. Human wrecks reformed into kill zones. Akoi leaned in. Let's teach them faster. Sato's knife sliced through the coolant manifold seal. Hiss erupted. Frost bloomed across the tender's engineering deck. Alarms blared in staccato bursts. His team crouched in the vented fog. 4 humans, Sato, Rays on breaching charges, Kim on electronics, and Patel hacking air recyclers. Relief container insertion complete. They'd ridden the alien convoy's outer lane, timed to the second amid Epsilon's debris ballet. Blind 'em, Sato whispered. Kim jammed the sensor override. Internal cams flickered to static. Crew scrambled beyond the bulkhead, Keth Varun's logistics lifeline, now their playground. Goal, hijack the convoy's brain. Conflict, 12-minute window before docking protocols lit up external scans. Sato moved first. Rays covered flanks with suppressed rail pistol. They ghosted through service ducts. Sato's multi-tool wrenched a panel, wires spilled, Kim spliced in. Fuel pallet beacons spoofed, they'll think it's standard resupply, Patel nodded. Convoy net slaved. Redirecting to Corridor 7. Sato grinned in the gloom. Mind Corridor, Akoi's gift. Human scrap turned killbox. Vance's orders burned clear, turn occupation into ambush. Tender shuddered, docking clamps locked. Sato tagged the first pallet. Spoof beacon pulsed, false IFF matching Varun's inbound heavies. One by one, pallets rerouted. Entire convoy veered off Golden Path into the trap. Crew pounded feet outside. Sato's team sealed the bridge hatch. Kim pulled the encryption slate. Data streamed, schedules, patrol voids, Admiral Rex demand for total scrap. Got it, Kim said, slate ejected. Extraction timer beeped. Sato slapped Ray's shoulder. Vent and vanish. Rays triggered the manifold breach wider. Supercooled gas flooded corridors. Alien screams cut short. Team piled into escape pod disguised as maintenance drone. Tender lurched toward the mined corridor. Sato watched feeds. Convoy formation tightened. Spoof beacons lied perfect. No alarms yet. From the alien command deck light minutes away, strategist Keth Varun stared at his holotank. Patrol icons swarmed Epsilon's edge. Human ghosts flickered, frigates slaved, station tugs weaponized. Desperate pirates, he muttered. Models confirmed, human collapse phase. Surrender terms held, withdrawals equaled route, but convoy pinged off axis. Tender lead deviated to Corridor 7, maintenance route, efficient. Minor glitch, Varun signaled Admiral Rek. Redirecting hunter-killers, quick compliance assured. Rek's flagship loomed in scan. Crush remnants, strategist, no delays. Varun dispatched 4 hunter-killers, sleek doctrine perfect, torpedo swarms primed. They burned hot toward the convoy. Sato's pod skimmed debris. Tender's cams, still his, showed pallets dumping false transponders. Swarms of decoy beacons bloomed. Hunter-killers locked multiples. Weapons hot. Explosions lit the corridor. Mines chained, Akoi's scrap railguns jury-rigged from station girders. Fuel pallets detonated secondary. Tender vaporized first. Convoy chain reactioned. Wreckage spiraled. Sato punched controls, pod yawed into pickup vector. Vance, Sato, slate secured, logistics schedule inbound, convoys scrap. Frigate ghosted in Akoi's Frankenstein, slaved from earlier raid. Grapples locked. Sato's team spilled aboard. Rays whooped. Kim clutched the slate. Deck shook. Sato braced. Status. Bridge crew human remnants snapped salutes. Hunter-killers shredded, sir. Decoys held. 2 survivors bugging out. Sato took the slate, plugged it in. Hollows unfolded. Varun's full net. Heavy inbound scrubbed. Patrols blind in Epsilon fog. Commander Vance's face patched through. Calm eyes, systems map overlay. Report. Convoy trapped. Mined corridor 8 at hole. Slates gold, every resupply lane, Rex push schedule. Vance nodded, no smile, just data ingest. Feed to Akoi, arm the next ghosts. Sato handed off. Team dispersed to rearm. Frigate accelerated, silent. Varun's holotank shattered. Convoy icons winked out. Hunter-killers gone. Decoy swarms laughed at his filters. Impossible, he breathed. Models lied. Humans adapted. Withdrawals baited reallocations. Rex roar flooded comms. Varun, explain. Ambush Admiral, humans spoofed our net. Logistics crippled. Caution was your error. Deploy reserves now. Varun hesitated. Patterns clicked late. Human grit rebuilt faster. Occupation reversed, but reserves poured in. Blind, Sato watched from frigate tack. Varun's reserves funneled wrong straight into Vance's debris kill zones. Railgun volleys silent fired. Tugs dragged Rex into lanes. Akoi's voice crackled fleet-wide. Scraps hot, weapons live. Explosions chained, alien hulls breached. Escape pods harvested new slaves. Sato leaned back, wrench still in pocket, timing and grit. Aliens learned slow. Vance's frigate reformed the task group. Ghosts multiplied. Epsilon burned brighter. Varun's final order stuttered across open channels. Pull back, reassess. Too late. Human torpedoes, repurposed alien duds, swarmed. Sato's team reloaded. Next convoy inbound. Slate showed it clear. Dr. Nia Akoi hunched over her engineering bay. Sato's slate-fed lines. Civilian docks, scrap haulers her domain. Fuel reroute, she murmured. Improvised sterilizers armed, pallets tagged for payback. Vance patched in. Akoi, Sato's gift viable? Viable and vicious, Commander. Their models assume collapse. We build. Frigate banks aligned. Task group battered but whole ghosted forward. Alien heavies loomed. Rec demanded total. Humans taught faster. Sato gripped rails. Team geared. Insertion 2. Container hatch ready. Timing perfect. Varun's reserves scattered. Decoy hell. He slammed console. How? Pirates don't. Rec cut link. Status demotion loomed. Holotank pinged new convoy. Relief priority. Straight to Epsilon core. Varun approved blind. Doctrine held. Sato's pod detached. Second tender clamped. Manifold seal gleamed. Knife out. His pending. Fleet ghost stirred. Vance's voice. Occupation's ours. Epsilon traps deepened. Grit turned surrender to siege. One wrench. Endless lessons. Akoi patched final feeds. Heavy inbound diverted into rail arcs. She smiled. Faster. Sensors bloomed. Ghosts everywhere. Aliens chased shadows. Humans struck real. Sato cut deep. Fog rolled. Team moved. Convoy doomed. Varun's models burned. Human pattern clear. Adapt. Endure. Win. Too late. Hunter-killers redeployed into swarms anew. Rec raged. Compliance, Vance whispered. Welcome to war. Frigate salvos lit void. Task group reformed stronger. Sato tagged pallets. Redirect locked. Extraction clean. Slate 2 secured. Logistics gutted. Aliens withdrew fractured. Humans pressed. Grit unbreakable. Epsilon secured. Next system baited. Vance's map updated. Coalition cracks showed. Akoi armed ghosts fleet-wide. Sato's team rested brief. Wrench cleaned. Next beat heavies. Timing set. Aliens learned. Never underestimate. Humans taught how. Commander Mara Vance keyed the captured encryption slate. Her fingers flew across the interface, uploading the forged counterattack plan. A desperate human brawler charged straight at the alien screen. Transmit, she ordered. The device hummed, slicing the fake data into Varun's command net via the compromised relay. Lieutenant Hale nodded from the tax station. Sent, their decryption's chewing it now. Vance leaned back in her command chair. The battered task group hung in Epsilon's outer drift, ghosts in the debris field. Surrender terms had bought them this time to turn occupation into ambush. She watched the holotank. Alien heavies patrolled the core lanes, her real play hid deeper. Akoi status on scatter arrays? Vance patched through. Dr. Nia Akoi's voice crackled. Deploying now. Civilian towers hot in 5. Vance smiled faintly. Grit filled gaps, they adapted. Strategist Keth Varun's console chimed. He snapped to the alert. The human encryption slate, captured intact from their routed convoy, pulsed with fresh data. Decode priority, he barked to his cipher team. Lines resolved. Human counterattack vector massed frigates and corvettes in a blunt charge. Brawler doctrine. Primitive, predictable. Varun's mandibles clicked satisfaction. They break at last. Models confirmed collapse cascades. He spun to the holotank. Coalition screen arrayed tight across Epsilon approach. Admiral Rec demanded compliance victories. This fed perfect. Reshape the screen, Varun commanded. Thicken the center, heavy lances forward. Flank corvettes pull in to envelop their charge. No escapes. Captains acknowledged. Cruisers shifted, engines flaring blue. Reserves held back per doctrine ready for pursuit. Varun logged the adjustment. Humans withdrew like prey. This ended it. Quick, clean, doctor. Nia Akoi sealed the final access panel on the towering civilian comm array. Wind howled across the Epsilon habitat ring, but her team worked fast. Scrap welds gleamed under emergency lights. Power up, she said. Ensign Patel flipped the switch. Microwave emitters whined to life, scattering phased arrays across the tower farm. Akoi checked her tablet. 20 towers linked. Battlefield jammers now, civilian bands turned to fog. Alien sensors would drown in noise. Test pulse. A low thrum built. Feeds confirmed, tight beam disruption in the core lanes. Enemy pursuit corridors narrowed to kill boxes. Link to Vance, Akoi ordered. Arrays live, herd 'em in. She wiped grease from her hands. Logistics won wars, scrap beat surrender, 1 tower per lane. Rails prepped below, humans endured. Vance's frigate shuddered as drone bays irised open. Launch all micro-swarms, she said. Thousands spewed into the void, pinprick signatures mimicking full fleet ghosts. Hale plotted vectors, painting false heavies. Herding their cruisers starboard into lane 3, Vance nodded. The fake brawler plan pulled their screen central. Jammers from Akoi choked the rest. Micro-drones danced, spoofing mass and heat. Alien cruisers bit engines committing to the shadows. Holotank bloomed illusions. 10 phantom squadrons, real task groups slipped port, micro-drones masking their drift. Captain Sato, your windows open, Vance transmitted. Rail arcs armed. Sato's reply, "Raiders away, we own the guts." Vance gripped her armrest. Occupation reversed. Aliens chased decoys. Humans struck steel. Varun's bridge lights flickered, sensor ghosting spiked. "What madness!" he snarled. Holotanks swarmed, human fleets everywhere, but models screamed false, brawler charge evaporated, no center push. "Jammers!" a sensor tech yelped. Civilian bands weaponized, lanes collapsing. Varun's crest flared. Humans turned infrastructure to traps. His reshaped screen funneled cruisers into jammed corridors, reserves idled wrong. "Incoming from the debris," weapons officer shouted. Micro-drones parted. Real human frigates emerged, salvos ripping screens. "Reform, pull reserves," Varun cut off. Admiral Rex's face filled the main viewer. "Varun, pursuit now, decisive, commit everything into that corridor, end this farce." Varun hesitated, jammers howled. Ghost herded his cruisers tight. Models lied, humans adapted faster. "Admiral cautioned the pattern, compliance," Rex roared. "Or status revoked, advance," Varun signaled. Reserves surged straight into the jammed kill box, lanes sealed. Rails from habitat rings lit space white. Human grit turned bait to burial. Captain Iliasato's raider pod clamped the enemy tender's manifold, hiss of seals. His team breached knives first. "Clear," Sato whispered. They ghosted through holds. Pallets of munitions stacked high. Sato slapped tags, redirects to Vance's arcs. "Logistics gutted," he said. Team exfiltrated clean, pods detached into the swarm. Behind, alien reserves piled into the corridor. Jammers blinded them. Micro-drones swarmed real now. Vance's task group closed the noose. Sato gripped his rail. "They chased shadows, we take the knife." Explosions bloomed, cruisers cracked, reserves shattered against rails. Vance watched the holotank, Rex forces fractured. Pursuit became rout. "Task group reform on me," she ordered. Frigates coalesced stronger, ghosts armed fleet-wide. Akoi patched in, towers holding, next lanes prepped. Sato, tenders burning, supplies ours. Vance updated the map. Coalition cracks widened, Epsilon secured. Next system baited. Aliens learned late, underestimate grit, teach the trap. Rex reserves gone, the cost of their prediction. Varun's slate pinged final warning. Too late, humans pressed. War welcomed them proper. Vance's finger hovered over the execute key. "Outposts Delta and Gamma, surrender protocols now, make it look broken." Crew voices snapped acknowledgments. Holotank flickered as alien signatures swarmed the outposts. Vance watched the feeds. Human defenders spiked white flags. Coalition landers touched down. Perfect. She keyed fleet-wide. "Task group shadow their resupply vectors, log every cycle." Frigates peeled off into the black. Vance leaned forward. Aliens chased easy wins. She'd feed them patterns they couldn't unsee. Predictable orbits locked in after 12 hours. Enemy tenders ran fat laps from the jump point. Vance marked the gaps. "Akoi, your window's open." Sato, prep the gut punch. Dr. Nia Akoi wiped grease from her brow. Sparks flew from the jury-rigged fab in the civilian yard. Industrial 3D printers hummed, repurposed from Epsilon's shipyards. She slapped a hull plate into the feed. "Cycle it," she barked. Arms whirred, alloy spat out layer by layer. Overnight miracle, a frigate's cracked fuselage reborn. Techs swarmed the output. "Armor integrity 98%. Akoi nodded. "Mount it. Next, railgun coils." She eyed the scrap piles. Enemy assumptions left factories intact. Humans turned them to fangs. By dawn, 3 hulls floated combat-ready. Akoi patched Vance. "Ghost fleet's armed, Commander." "Rails hot." Vance's voice cut through. "Inbound tenders marked. Hit 'em soft. Sato's playing." Akoi grinned, scrapped to steel. Aliens starved for imagination. Captain Iliasato's breacher pod kissed the alien medevac tender's hull. Magnetic clamps bit. His team cut silent, lasers slicing vents. "Inside," Sato whispered. Seals hissed. They flowed through ducts, ghosts in the machine. Hangars loomed ahead. Wounded coalition troops groaned on stretchers. Sato's knife flashed, slashed medpacks. Tamper alerts primed but delayed. "Tag the protocols," he ordered. Team planted virals, fake distress beacons, looped evac calls. Wounded piled up. Hangars clogged with their own. Sato's HUD pinged, reserves diverting. "Clog confirmed, exfil." They ghosted out. Pod detached into debris fields. Behind, enemy bays choked. Medevacs grounded under friendly fire. Panic protocols backfired. Sato gripped his harness. Ugly winds counted double. Strategist Keth Varun's claws tapped the planner's slate. Rex bridge thrummed with triumph. Outposts fallen. Human remnants fled. Blockade now, Varun projected. Models glowed green. Starve their lanes, no resupply penetrates. Admiral Saul Rek loomed over the holodisplay. Quick victories, Varun, compliance or demotion. Varun bowed. Vectors locked, Admiral, their task group fractures. Dreadnoughts deployed. Pickets sealed the primary jump corridors. Scanners swept clean. Humans boxed. Hours ticked. Probes reported nil. Varun relaxed. Doctrine held. Withdrawals equaled collapse. Then pings spiked. Anomalies in the rubble lanes, a sensor tech hissed. Frozen debris belts War's graveyard from prior clashes. Varun zoomed the feed. Tiny signatures darted through ice shards. Human shuttles, slipping pickets via particle wakes. Impossible, he muttered. Models labeled those lanes suicide, radiation spikes, grav shears. Humans threaded them anyway. Redirect nodes, Rek bellowed, but reserves jammed, medevacs snarled hangars, tenders off-cycle, Varun's spine stiffened, patterns shifted, caution, advance, Rek overrode, Vance's holotank pulsed red. Blockade nodes locked in 3 fat targets strung across the predictable arc. Sink check, she ordered. Frigates ghosted from Akoi's fabs, hulls fresh forged. Sato's raiders flanked. All green, Akoi confirmed. Raiders away, Sato added. Vance stabbed execute. Ambush go. Rails lit from habitat rings. Slugs hammered Node 1, shields buckled. Node 2 caught Sato's redirects. Tender munitions cooked off inside. Explosions chained. Debris bloomed. Alien Node 3 twisted to redeploy. Too slow. Human task group surged from rubble lanes, the impossible vector, rails white-hot. Vance watched signatures wink out. Reform on me, press the cracks. Frigates coalesced, stronger, coalition fractured. Varun clutched his console as node feeds died. Bridge alarms wailed. Rek's face purpled. Reserves, where are my reserves? Varun pulled logs, rubble lanes exploited, medevacs clogged, tenders rerouted into kill boxes. The pattern, Varun stammered. Humans adapt, outposts were bait, resupply cycles trapped us. Rek whirled, excuses. You trusted models, sensors screamed. Human signatures reformed, hulls gleaming, rails primed from nowhere. Varun's slate overflowed warnings, humans pressed through the black. Blockade shattered, he signaled Rek's staff. Caution now, too late. Akoi sealed the last fab output. A corvette's spine gleamed new, techs hauled it to dock. Inbound salvage, she announced. Enemy wrecks drifted close, Sato's gifts. Strip 'em, Akoi said. Rails and reactors priority. Crew dove in. Zero-G torches flared. Coalition alloys fed the printers. Overnight ghosts multiplied. Vance patched through. Akoi next systems baited, lanes prepped. Printers spinning, Commander, they'll chase shadows again. Akoi eyed the horizon, scrapped to swarm. Aliens learned slow. Sato's pod skimmed wreckage. Raider teams regrouped, tags confirmed, alien supplies captured. Node 3's drifting, his second reported. Boarding parties away, Sato nodded. Gut the cores, feed to Vance. They breached the hulk, corridors smoked. Coalition survivors surrendered, stunned by the raid. One alien officer gurgled through translator. How? Rubble lanes kill. Sato hefted a crate. We make do. Pods detached, fleet closed, ranks. Sato gripped rails, knife sharpened for next. Vance updated the map. Epsilon secured. Zeta systems jump point baited, outposts primed for surrender. Coalition signatures massed. Rek's ego pulled them in. Task group hold shadows, she ordered. Akoi fabs on standby. Sato medevac specials reloaded. Affirmatives rolled in. Holotank showed the noose. Aliens tightened the blockade, predicted lanes sealed tight. Vance smiled cold. They labeled the rubble impossible. Her finger hovered. Rails hot, from the grave we rise. Rek's fist slammed the armrest. Full sweep, no more surprises. Varun projected urgent sims. Rubble lanes glowed hazard dread. Humans couldn't pings erupted. Sensors lit. Task group signatures boiled from the debris, hulls patched, rails blazing. Impossible route, attack officer yelled. Rails streaked. Node pickets vaporized. Tenders caught mid-cycle. Sato's virals lit hangars. Varun watched cruisers crack. Pursuit stalled. Human frigates danced through shards, untouchable. Withdraw, he urged. Rek roared denial. Reserves surged into the jam. Explosions chained. Bridge shook. Varun's spines wilted. Underestimate grit. Now they taught the trap. Humans closed. War turned. Vance's voice echoed in intercepted comms. Next system baited. Zeta waited. Rek's forces bled. Patterns broke. Coalition cracked wide. Varun's claws stabbed the holodable. Admiral Rek, these casualty curves demand a pause. Human task groups adapt too fast. Our models shatter every cycle. Rek's optics narrowed, his frills flaring crimson. The bridge crew froze. Varun's spines tingled under the glare. Pause, Rek snarled. You whine of models while humans mock us from debris? Zeta's shipyards build their fleet. We end this now. Varun thrust forward the projection. Red lines spiked, projections of attrition. Their frigates evade our nets. Reserves jam our lanes. A mast strike risks. Risks nothing, Rek's voice boomed. He swept the hollow aside. Your caution breeds defeat. Demoted junior staff. I lead the strike myself. Full formation on Zeta yards. Burn them out. Varun's mandibles clicked shut. Crew eyes darted. Rek turned to tack. Vectors locked. Fuel math optimal. Straight thrust to core docks. Launch at dawn cycle. Orders cascaded. Engines hummed to life. Varun slunk to a console, demotion burning. Humans baited Zeta. He saw it. Rek charged blind. Commander Vance's finger traced the enemy fuel plumes on her holotank. Their thrust profiles scream it. Direct vector to the old docks. Fuel parsimony, no evasion burns. Captain Sato nodded from the comm feed, his face scarred and steady. Raiders confirm. Asteroid hollows prepped. We shift the yard now. Vance keyed fleet-wide. Task group execute shadow relocate. Akoi seal the decoy. Rails cold until my mark. Affirmatives pinged. Her battered cruiser shuddered as tugs hauled modular fab units toward the hollowed rock. Zeta's debris ring masked the move. Civilian haulers blended with military pods. Humans made do. Dr. Akoi's voice cut in, calm amid clangs. Original docks rigged. Magnetic lensing charges synced. They'll lens their own plasma back threefold. Vance watched the tank. Enemy signatures coalesced. Rek's flagship at spearhead. Cruisers in wedge. Pickets screening. 80 vessels strong. Her task group, 30 shadows, patched hulls, hidden fangs. Relocate complete, Sato reported. Yards dark inside the rock, decoy glows hot. Vance's lips thinned. Aliens trusted their math. Humans turned it against them. Hold shadows, trap primed. Akoi welded the final charge housing. Sparks flew in the dock's cavernous bay. Civilian welders, Zetan volunteers, hauled magcoils under her barked orders. Sink the lenses tighter, she snapped. Enemy plasma hits the field, it folds back on their formation. Shipyard becomes kill box. A tech grunted, sweat beading. Charges armed, remote det from Vance's flag. Akoi scanned the setup. Empty bays mimicked feverish activity, dummy hulls, flickering lights, heat vents pumping false signatures. Scrap from fallen stations fed the illusion. Magnetic arrays ringed the approaches, invisible until triggered. She patched to Vance. Decoy live. They'll smell the activity a light tower out. Our real yard's cold as void in that asteroid. Copy, Vance replied. Sato's team's extracted. Stand by for evac. Akoi hefted her kit and ran for the shuttle. Dock sealed behind her. Trap set. Aliens came for a city. They'd find its grave. Rek's flagship plunged through Zeta's jump lane. Sensors blared the prize. Shipyard signatures blazing. Docks crawled with human activity. Hulls stacking like insects. Target locked, TAC officer crowed. No defenses show. Fuel math held true. Rek leaned forward, frills triumphant. All batteries hot. Plasma lances first vaporize the yards. Cruisers follow, claim the wreckage. Varun hunched at his demoted station. Scans nagged him. Activity too neat. No pickets, no debris traps. Admiral patterns. Silence, Rek barked. Formation tightened. Plasma batteries charged. Azure glows building. Volley launched. Lances streaked toward the docks, a city of steel and light. Vance's cruiser lurked in the asteroid's shadow. Holotank pulsed enemy icons, Rek's wedge diving in. Decoy yard filled their feeds. Akoi, detonate on my mark, Vance ordered, her voice steel. Sato raiders loose, task group rails hot. Shuttle affirmatives rolled. Sato's specials, stealth pods, slipped from debris. Enemy lances struck the docks. No explosion. Instead, mag lenses ignited. Invisible fields snapped active. Incoming plasma warped, reversed, folded back threefold. Rek's lead cruisers erupted first. Their own fire slammed home, hulls blooming orange. Chain reactions ripped the wedge. Mark, Vance roared, task group decloaked. Rails thundered, hypervelocity slugs from 30 shadows. Rek's flagship buckled as rounds punched bridges and engines. Sato's raiders swarmed tenders, virals frying bays mid-cycle. 30 seconds. Rek's formation shattered. Flagship listed venting atmo, cruisers cracked wide, picket screens vaporized. Varun gripped his console as alarms wailed, bridge shook. Evasive, it's a trap, lenses, humans predicted us. Rex staggered, optics wide. Impossible, fuel math. Rails streaked past. Another cruiser died. Varun watched the holotank invert. Humans rose from graves. Zeta's noose snapped shut. Vance's intercept crackled fleet-wide. Flagship formation crippled, pursuit vectors open. Next bait drops at Epsilon Prime. Rex frills wilted. The coalition bled. Humans taught the lesson raw. Vance's finger stabbed the broadcast key. Her voice sliced every coalition channel from Zeta to Epsilon Prime. Coalition command, this is Human Task Group Zeta. Play recording. Static crackled. Then Varun's voice filled the net. His earlier assessment, captured and looped from intercepted briefings. Human resistance collapses under fuel constraints. Withdrawals signal total breakdown. Occupation proceeds unopposed. Laughter rippled across her bridge. Crew exchanged grim nods. Vance cut the feed. Tag it with our pursuit vector, let them chew on it. Rex flagship shuddered under fresh rail hits. Escape pods jettisoned like panicked spores. Sato's raider pod clamped to the hull breach. Magnetic clamps bit deep. Breaching now, Sato growled into her team's comms. Cut silent, core first. Her squad, 8 in exosuits, flowed through the gash. Coalition Marines swarmed corridors, plasma lances spitting blue fire. Sato rolled left. Her carbine barked suppressed rounds. 2 aliens dropped, frills quivering in death throes. Flank left, suppress that junction. Rounds pinged off bulkheads. A Marine lunged. Sato sidestepped, drove her vibroblade through its optics. Squad pushed forward. Alarms wailed. Bulkheads sealed ahead. Charges, she snapped. Shaped blasts vaporized the hatch. They spilled into auxiliary decks. Rex command core loomed, armored vault pulsing with data streams. Guards piled in. Sato's team laid suppressing fire. Grenades bloomed smoke. She dashed low, slapped a viral puck to the outer panel. Code cascaded. Locks popped. Inside, techs froze. Rec barked from the central throne. Frills flared. Intruders, purge the core. Sato's pistol cracked twice. Tech slumped. Her Marines pinned Rec's arms. Fleet auth reset, she ordered. Lock it to our codes. Rec thrashed. Sato zip-tied his manipulators. No purge, your fleet goes dark in 60. Coalition ships stuttered. Weapons powered down. Engines flickered offline. Sato dragged Rec to his feet. Walk, Admiral. Or we drag. Akoi wiped grease from her brow. Captured destroyer groaned under her welder's torches. Human crews swarmed the decks, civilians yanked from Epsilon orbitals, engineers from scrap haulers. Reroute those plasma conduits, she barked. Patch the hull with our cargo plating, make it look stock. A welder grunted affirmation. Sparks flew. Akoi eyed the Holoscan. Coalition designs begged for improv. She spliced human capacitors into their power grids. Output spiked 20%. Decoy skins on. Mimic Rex wedge signatures. Second ship hummed alive. Engines tested clean, human fuel hacks burned hotter longer. Escort config, she radioed Vance. 3 birds ready, they'll draw fire while we flank. Vance's task group ghosted into Epsilon shadow. Akoi's patchwork fleet detached, fake coalition hulls broadcasting surrender codes. Enemy pickets lunged to escort them, trap within a trap. Varun's claws trembled on his console. Rex flagship went silent. Fleet auth failed across the board. Human signals jammed overrides. His holotank showed Zeta's remnants scattering, then reforming under Vance's icons. Akoi's decoys pulled Rex reserves into kill boxes. Bridge crew glanced at him. Rex's voice cut through. Scorched Earth, glass Epsilon orbitals, deny them resupply. Varun's frills collapsed. Models lied. Humans adapted faster than Sims predicted. Withdrawals, bait, fuel math, scrap-fed reactors, he punched his override. No, Admiral, cease fire. Rex image snarled from the cracked feed. Traitor, execute protocol. Varun ignored him. He patched a tight beam to Vance's cruiser. Human intercept lit his panel. Commander Vance, this is strategist Keth Varun, sending withdrawal codes, full coalition net, stop the glassing. Her reply came cool. Why defect? You called it collapse, we broadcast your proof. Now see ours. Codes streamed, locks opened fleet-wide. Vance's bridge erupted in cheers, codes flooded in. Enemy drives powered down, orbital batteries went inert. Sato's voice crackled. Rex secured, core's ours. Akoi, Vance said. Redeploy decoys to herd survivors. Sato, shuttle wreck aboard under guard. Affirmative snapped back. Task group tightened the noose. Epsilon orbitals stabilized, no fires bloomed. Varun's shuttle docked minutes later. Marines escorted him in, claws bound. Vance faced him across the briefing table. Varun's optics darted, bridge scars fresh, crew efficient. No panic, just purpose. Codes verified, she said. Your fleet withdraws, why hand them? Varun's voice rasped. Rek demanded quick wins, punished caution, your adaptations, broke the models. Humans turn lost to traps, we retreat or burn. Sato leaned in, Rek slumped beside her. Admiral's frills hung limp. Status junkie, Varun added. Your broadcast, my words, humiliated him, he glassed anyway. Vance nodded. Holotank spun armistice draft. Terms simple. Coalition vacates human space. Borders frozen, no return, breach it, we hunt. Varun signaled assent, Rek spat. Primitives dictate, Sato's blade hummed at his throat. Sign, Admiral, Rek complied, Vance keyed fleet-wide. Varun's old assessment looped once more, now banner text over the terms. You called humans broken, we broadcast it as victory. Coalition ships turned tails, engines flared for jump points. Human task group held station, rails trained. Epsilon cheered from orbitals. Vance watched the exodus. Grit taught the lesson, underestimated again, pay forever. Varun lingered. One question, how fuel, yards, all models said impossible. Vance smiled faint. We improvise, scrap to steel, always another play. His shuttle departed last. Human ingenuity lingered in his scans, patchwork ships outpacing purebreds. Coalition learned raw. Sato clapped Vance's shoulder. Next bait. Always. Pursuit vectors plotted anew. They never stopped adapting. Akoi's voice lit comms. Fresh hulls prepped, where to? Vance's eyes hardened. Where they least expect. Epsilon secured, lesson pinned, occupation died, humans rose unbroken.